think you should.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Whoscussion. We just had a quick detour and talking about Ian Levine, and here we are back for part B. We're doing Foreshadowing, the 8th Doctor short trip, again with Charlie Pollard, and we'll be finishing Charlie Pollard. That's a 2Ds. And then we're finishing up with the other woman. So Foreshadowing. As soon as I heard the story, I was in love with it. A gentleman is woken up in the early hours of the morning. And he's not too happy about that, but he's told he needs to come see something. And the officer that's telling him to, because they're in a military base, who's telling him to come, he is reluctant to give information because he says, if I tell you, you will not believe me, so you just have to see it. Yeah. So he ends up in an infirmary. They see a little boy on a bed. And he goes, hang on, what's this? And he goes, that's Jenkins, sir. Pardon? Yeah, we found him, he got turned into a kid. And we're like, how do you know it's Jenkins? Because he literally knows everything about this base. He says his name's Jenkins. He knows everything about Jenkins. He's and Jenkins. He kind
of looks like Jenkins.
Yeah, and he kind of, I love that was another good part that when India Fisher was doing, and he kind of looks like Jenkins.
Yeah, so either he's Jenkins' kid, or he's Jenkins.
Yeah, or he's Jenkins. And so and because it's a completely secure military base, no one could have gotten in and out anyway. So it has to be Jenkins. And this commanding officer has no idea how to take in that information. But he's like, okay, I'll be presented with a fact. I can see with my 2 eyes it's fact. What do I do about this? Yeah. He finds out that they captured 2 people, intruders, that were looking at Jenkins' de-aged body. He's not dead, though he just happened to be unconscious at the time. And the commanding officer goes into a room with them. He's greeted with the 8th Doctor and Charlie dressed in Zoe's jumpsuit. Yeah. I was just like, as soon as they mentioned that, I was like, this is the greatest. Wow, that's great. Just like, imagine 3 a.m, you've been woken up, you've just been told that like one of your mates has been turned into a child, and there is a crazily Victorian dressed dude and a woman.
No. There is Lord Byron.
Lord Byron.
So this is what he's thinking. Here is Lord Byron and a 19-year-old girl in a very tight
sparkly jumpsuit.
Sparkly jumpsuit. Yeah.
He's just like, okay.
As well as one of your commanding officers just got turned into a child, and it's not your day, really.
Yeah, he's not having a great time. And he's like, okay, all right, so let's sit down. Who are you? He's like, I'm the Doctor. This is my friend Charlie. He's like, okay. And he starts talking about a time roach, which apparently is a cockroach that lives in the Vortex that can age you up or age you down depending on its appetite. Yep. And that's how they feed. They feed on time streams. And so the gentleman goes, hang on a tick. Hey, can you go put a kettle on? I'm gonna need some tea. I'm gonna be here for a long time. And the Doctor explains that it also likes to eat biscuits. It's like a normal everyday roach, just happens to live in the time vortex and eat time streams. Which reminds me, what was the name of that creature that they used to live with Charlie and the Doctor? The one that lived in the time vortex?
Vortizor?
No, the Vortizor. What was his name? Humphrey the Vortizor. So
yes.
So I wonder if after this they just like kept the time roach as well, because I could so imagine Charlie and the Doctor keeping the time roach, like having a Vortizor and a time roach just chilling with them. Like
except it doesn't like her because she's got bad time.
Yeah, it doesn't like her. And yes, because they bring that up that he mentions it doesn't like eating my time stream, and they both said that they don't know why, and the commanding officer...
They look at each other like...
Yeah. The commanding officer's like, these two totally know why it doesn't like eating a time stream, but I don't even want to ask, I just want to go back to bed. Alright, so can you break down what happened? So, basically, we crash land here. How? I've got a time machine. Okay, hold on a second, wait, what? Okay, so I'm a time-traveling alien, and she's from the 1930s. Hello! Yeah. And it's just like... okay, alright. So you're telling me, if I send out one of my boys to go have a look, they'll find a police phone box that's a time machine? Yes. Okay, so he goes and sends off one of his men, and the doctor and him are having a good old yarn about time travel stuff and time roaches and things. They hear a rapping at the door, and the commanding officer opens the door and finds the same person he just sent off has aged a few decades.
Yes.
The roach is on his back. There is something on your back. And then it jumps into the room, and it's running around. And then the doctor says, "Mike Yates, throw that to me." And at that single moment, my heart skipped a beat.
Yeah, you squeeze.
And I was just like, Mike Yates, yes! And this
but
actually...
not as deep. He definitely squealed.
Yeah.
Squealed
like a guy. Yes! And what's really good is this actually explains why he's so open to the existence of aliens when he joins UNIT.
Yeah. And why he's totally okay with the Doctor almost immediately.
Almost, yeah, definitely. And so Mike Yates and the Doctor, they help to capture the time roach, they put it away, and the time streams for the two officers go back to normal. And the Doctor's like, "Hey, thanks a lot. You're a good guy. You're awesome. I'm going to go back to my TARDIS." And he heads off. He just says my ship. Hey, he doesn't call it the TARDIS. So he's just like, "I'm just going to go back to my ship." So he goes back to his ship. And the Doctor and Charlie are like laughing about the events, even though like they quite possibly could have caused something very catastrophic.
Yeah, especially if they'd somehow managed to kill Mike Yates.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been not good. That would have been real not good for the Doctor, because his time stream would be all sorts of even more messed up.
Yeah.
So, then again, the dinosaur. Oh yeah, then the dinosaur story wouldn't happen. Because Michael would betray the. Seriously, man, when that happens, bloody Mike Yates, a good clipper on the air, boy. So they head off. They're laughing, and then Mike's brought in front of his commanding officer, and his commanding officer's like, "Wait, hang on a second. So let me just get this straight. When did you start believing this story?" Pretty much straight away. Why is that? It was 3 in the morning, and I just saw a dude get turned into a kid.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Hey, look, I
know this guy. His name is
Alistair
Lethbridge Stewart. He works for UNIT.
And he needs some people.
And that person who's talking is Mr. Ian Gilmore of the Royal Air Force. He is in the story Remembrance of the Daleks. He also has a boat, a full-on big Titanic level boat full of audio stories about him and things that he's done.
Wow, I didn't even know that part. Hold on a second. What was his name?
His name is Ian Gilmore.
Ian Gilmore. Holy crud. And he's in heaps of Big Finish.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of audio.
Oh my goodness.
There's a big page of audio that he's in.
Ian Gilmore. Oh my god. There's even a list of appearances page dedicated to him. Who's in Remembrance of the Daleks. Oh, I see. He's the guy from Countermeasures. Oh yes. My god. Yep. Okay, cool. I know all about this dude. He's played by the scary son in Upstairs, Downstairs. So, wow. Holy crap. That's cool. I didn't even know that's who I was talking. Ah, that makes so much sense. Because Countermeasures was like, they were like the people before UNIT. And so they were the ones that Alistair Lethbridge Stewart was working for, and during the Web of Fear.
Yes.
Holy cow, that is so cool. This just made my whole day. Wow, that's cool. Because I love Countermeasures. Because I've only seen the Remembrance of the Daleks, so I've got all of Countermeasures because I bought it all for Big Finish. But when we get up to that, that's going to be great, because I'll be like, that's totally the guy. He's the reason Mike Yates goes and works for the thing.
Yes.
But yeah, this story is great. Again, it's one of those very, very cheap stories, and it's American, $1.50, 50p British. It is very, very cheap. Definitely pick it up. And with that, we will move on to The Other Woman.
The Other Woman.
Harry Skelly, take us away.
Okay, so Jo Grant, yes, all the time, every day.
I love Katie
all day
rendition.
She is a great narrator to
Yeah.
Doctor Who, especially considering her Third Doctor impression is spot on, which is great. They always get the best impersonators, and for some reason it's always like big deal companions that are the best impersonators of Doctors. For the Third Doctor, it's Jo Grant, and for Second Doctor, it's Jamie.
Jamie.
Yeah, they do the best impressions. So, yes. So this story is pretty short. It doesn't play out in the same way that a lot of Third Doctor stuff plays out, which is good.
Yeah, it's not no boys in tiger cages this time.
Yeah, nothing like that. It also doesn't play out like any of his TV stories. It plays out like more of a short trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is good. So, an alien ship comes down. And units has to investigate all that stuff. Third Doctor shows up. He's all like, "Hey, cool aliens!" And this lady comes out. She looks like she's a pretty foxy lady. And all the men of unit seem to be enamored with her for some reason.
Even Blethbridge Stewart's like, damn.
Yeah, which is interesting because I'm wondering if she's like, because it never really gets like pointed out that she's like got something that causes that to happen.
I think she does, though, to be honest.
I'm honestly thinking that it's just because she's actually really attractive. Like that it's not for anything like that, because the thing is that it doesn't affect the Doctor, and the Doctor doesn't like say, he doesn't give any reason as to why it's not affecting him, and it is affecting all the other people. So I'm pretty sure that he wasn't even assuming that there was something going on. He was just like, oh yeah, she's just really pretty. Like, so I'm wondering if that's totally the case. But anyway, the Doctor and this lady seem to hit it off immediately in some fashion, and she apparently her method of traveling in space is very similar to the TARDIS, although she doesn't travel directly in space, she travels through dimensions. And the Doctor's immediately like, hey, I could use your stuff to make my TARDIS work.
Which is all he ever thinks about, because it's before the 10th anniversary, so we're still stuck here.
Yeah, so a lot of the story is basically around Jo trying to not only come to terms with how much she actually respects the Doctor and how much she really wants him to stay around, but also trying to understand those feelings herself as well, where it seems like she's going. I'm guessing that this is also the reason why they brought this out, is to remedy that whole idea that Jo Grant was actually in love with the Doctor, because she wasn't. And it shows very clearly throughout the show, but some people seem to miss that fact. But this story definitely sums up perfectly well that although at some point, maybe early on, she may have thought that she was in love with the Doctor, she realizes pretty quickly that it's actually just her having immense respect for him. And it comes out in an awkward way, actually, with like one of her like pseudo boyfriends being like, "Why don't you just stop talking about the Doctor?" And she's like, "Whoa, no, I'm not just infatuated with him. Don't be a dick."
Yeah, don't be that guy. Come on,
don't be that guy. So that's it's interesting, but eventually the story turns out that the alien woman is actually a fugitive, because Doctor Who.
Especially Third Doctor. Like, come on.
Some alien. Well, I guess it's a dimensional police officers, the Judgmentors.
Yeah.
That has got to be the most Third Doctor series.
Yeah,
name.
right.
Like the Judgmentors. It's great. They come down, end up capturing Calandra with the Third Doctor's help, and the Third Doctor's all like, Joe, I totally knew the whole time. What are you thinking? Because that's just how the Third Doctor rolls. And yeah, that basically is how it all ends. It's definitely bite-sized, and it's a lot. It feels a lot shorter than it is.
Yeah, I have to agree. It does feel like it's sort of over before it began.
Yeah, but it is enjoyable nonetheless. It's great work. Yeah, great story.
Great story. So yeah, this story is super short. It's to the point. It's again, it's one of the cheapies because it is just a single short trip. It's not part of the volumes. It's bite-sized.
That's how a short trip ought to be.
Yeah, it's more bite-sized even than the one with the boy that needed his tire fixed on his bicycle.
It doesn't really. The thing is, like, this is one of the ones that doesn't seem to really say anything other than just be about the a sort of day in the life of.
Yeah, which is what the short trip should be.
Yeah. Which, I mean, at the same time, it's like, I love those short trips that like try to say something in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But they can't all say something crazy or they'll just start saying the same things over and over again. So it's good that they do things like this as well.
I kind of want to listen to the death deal again. Actually, now that you say that. Why did you kill her? Because she. Do you know how this works? Like... yeah. So again, it's very bite-sized. I'd say it's worth a listen. It's a good little thing to get you through the day, especially if you're not having such a great day at work. It's a good thing to kill your lunch break with. So pick it up on the Big Finish website. Again, you can pick up all of Big Finish on their app and carry it around in your little pocket. And with that, we will head off for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Catch you later.
Catch you next week.